Hey, what's up guys? This is MA76B-Ball. Thanks for dropping by again. This is part 2 of episode 4 for First on Court. If any of you had a look at part 1, thank you very much for dropping by. And so it's 7 a.m. here, just woke up. Last night I had my first run in the Lebron 12 Instinct, so yeah, I'm just going to share my experience about that. And just remember guys, this is not a performance review. This is just my experience of taking the shoes out of the box and taking them to the court for the very first time. So just remember that. Just keep that in mind guys. I'm not claiming anything. This is not a in-depth review. I have done a couple of those, and usually I put about 16 hours into the shoes for that. Whereas last night, it's just the first run for 2 hours. Anyways, let's get into the experience of First on Court. So once I got to the gym, just took the shoes out of the bag and slipped my foot in. And once I did that, I noticed the fit was quite plush right away. And I had quite a few pairs of these last summer, and it was just a great feeling to have them back on feet. Now lacing these Lebron 12s up is a bit of an adventure in itself due to the lacing system, and I'll get to that later on in the video. Now once I got on the court, I did notice one thing right away, and because I put the Lebron 12 Elite through the paces. I put 16 hours into that shoe, and when I got these Instincts on the court, I was quite surprised at the difference in the feeling in the forefoot, and again I will get to that later on in the video. So now just a couple shots of how the night was going. I was feeling it from 3-point range, and the tall man in dark green shorts, we played together a lot. We always end up on the same team for some reason. So he knows me, he knows what I like to do, so he set quite a few picks for me, and I just rolled off the picks and lit up the J's. So anyways, during the night, the shoes had 0 break-in, which I was pretty happy about. But again, as usual, the traction, it was so-so, but this gym is dusty, so that's the way it is. So you can see the large piece of posit on the lower portion of the shoe, and again from the ankle collar running down to the bottom of the ankle and wrapping around the back. So support is abundant on the lateral side, and here on the medial side you still have that portion running from the ankle down to the base, and then you can see it's just the hyperfuse on the upper. Nice detail there is the rubber outsole wrapping up, so for those who do toe offs and drag their foot, you have a little bit of added traction there. Now the lacing system that I was talking about, here's a look at it, and it's very unconventional. So the portions with the fly wire, the orange colored fly wire popping out, it's pretty normal, but you can see where the green arrows are pointing, the laces go through the hyperfuse, and it is really strange and a little bit awkward to lace up. So it actually takes a little bit of effort to get the laces nice and tight, but there is a benefit to it. Once you've yanked on those laces and you've dealt with those odd eyelets, they don't let go, they don't loosen up. So the following day or the following week, you actually don't need to retie it. Just the upper portion of the laces, you could do them up and undo them to get your shoe on and off. So this here is identical to the Lebron 12 Elite. You can see the heel zoom bag protruding out from the rest of the outsole. So you can see lateral and medial sides are actually not touching the ground. So that seems kind of odd, and you would think it would be kind of shaky and not very safe for gameplay. But once you're moving at basketball speeds and your body weight's on top of it, you cannot feel it. It does act like a piston, it does compress. And yeah, there's no issues about it. And I'm only 139 pounds, so yeah, it's kind of a good feature, just odd looking. So now we've got the same setup in the forefoot of the shoe. Left and right sides are raised up off the ground due to the hex zoom bags. And again, it's not an issue when you're playing at basketball speeds. And also you've got the outrigger on the lateral side, which helps with stability and maybe kind of helps out with possible ankle rollovers. But just a great feature. You do see it on a lot of shoes these days, and I think it's just executed very well on this particular shoe. There are 4 zoom bags in the forefoot on the Lebron 12, so you can see here in the light yellow, light orange, light pink, and pink. Those are actual zoom bags, and then there's one that's blacked out. There is no zoom air in that particular, at that spot. And then of course you've got the large heel zoom bag. So just a close-up on the traction pattern. You have all types of lines going north, east, south, west, even diagonal. You can see the star shapes on the actual zoom pods. The traction in the past models that I've had, the BHM model had a milky outsole, and that actually provided the best traction, whereas these ones have these icy blue translucent type compounds, and on the dusty quartz they were so-so, and of course they're fine on the on pristine quartz. Now this is what I really wanted to talk about. Here we've got 4 zoom pods on the left shoe, which is the regular 12, and then you've got 5 zoom bags on the Elite. However, for whatever reason, the regular 12 had a much more cushioned ride, where the Elite had a more, looked like it was more focused on court feel, which is really odd because, you know, the Elites are usually more beefed up or whatnot. So yeah, this is why I like to do these first on quartz, because even though this model is the regular version, the overall ride was much more comfortable than the Elite. So just a random little detail, you could see the fraying on the edge of one of the zoom bags. This is one of the main zoom bags that's right under your metatarsal, and you can see it. You know, this is just after 2 hours of play on an indoor court, so yeah, I just wanted to make note of that. I'm not really complaining or anything, but you'd think it would last a little bit longer than this. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about was the footbed, or the insole, that comes in the regular 12. It's got a nice graphic there, but you know, this insole is paper thin, and the foam that they use is, you know, pretty much dead. There is no, for me, there is no type of response or, you know, impact protection. It's just a very, very dead type of foam, and extremely thin. So you can see what I do is I take the insoles from my Asics running shoes, which is I don't know what kind of foam they use, but it's very spongy, very comfortable, and you can see there's arch support built into it as well. So I just swap them out, and it definitely gives me a much better fit. So, you know, if you're not satisfied with the fit or the feel or the cushion in your shoe, you know, try and swap out the insoles. It's a great little way to, you know, to get around things. Well, that's it, guys. That brings episode 4 to an end. I hope you enjoyed the detailed views on the shoe. Yeah, probably next up on deck would be the Lebron 13 Elite. That's not going to be till the end of July. But anyways, you know, I'm always posting updates and all kinds of pics and whatnot on Instagram, so check me out over there. And yeah, that's it. So for all of you out there who are training in basketball or any other sport, also academics in school, whatever your goal may be, make sure you get it, guys. Focus on it. Don't let anybody tell you anything different, and just get it done. So take care, be safe. Peace.